the springs around Crystal River. That's what we went there for. What you're looking at now is exactly what they look like. Crystal Isles RV Resort is in Crystal River, Florida. This park was really our destination because I planned this trip to see the springs in Central Florida. Yeah, we started out with a beach trip to Jacksonville and a beach trip to St. George Island, but Crystal River is what I really wanted to see. So took a stab and booked this park, and it turns out to be really nice. I like it. I would come back here. I took some drone shots, and that's what you're looking at now. This will give you an idea how large the park is, and you can see that it's on the Crystal River. It also has a boat ramp on a canal that will lead you out to the Crystal River if you happen to take your boat. A lot of people in this park do take their boats. The park rents daily, monthly, weekly, seasonal. It even rents annually. So there's a lot of what you might call full-timers here, but it feels like a regular park. It's well maintained. It's a really nice park. It has every amenity imaginable, and it has a nice pool, nice laundry room, nice playground. It's just all kind of playgrounds in the park. It's a nice park. Can't say enough good things about it. If I was going to say anything bad about it, I would criticize the fact that the sites are not all concrete pads, but it doesn't seem to matter. The area is flat. If it's not concrete, it's gravel. It's just we didn't have a bad experience here at all. Really, we didn't run into insects here, and I was surprised at that after we ran into so many on St. George Island. I recommend it. Well, after riding my bike around the large campground and taking a better look at it, I changed my mind about how I feel about Crystal Isles RV Park. I really like it. I would stay here again. I recommend that you stay here. They've got everything. They have standard sites and premium sites and super sites. They've got cabins. Of course, they got the boat ramp that'll give you access to Crystal River. They've got a fish cleaning station. They've got a nice laundry. They got rec halls and basketball courts and horseshoes, playgrounds, shuffleboards, pickleball court, volleyball. It really has a lot to entertain you. Plus, it's located in Crystal River. We leave the campground, we take a right, and we actually go to the beach. We take a left, we go to Crystal River, and in Crystal River there's so much that we came down to see. That's where Three Sisters Springs is, and we enjoyed that. You get on the main highway and head south, go down to Homosassa, and there's just so much on that road. Homosassa is where we went to the wildlife preserve and went into we toured that, but one thing they had in that preserve was the underwater observatory where you can see manatee if they're there. We were lucky that we saw a manatee. This is not the time of the year when you see manatee, but we saw one, and he came up, and I got some good pictures of him. You'll see him in some of the videos. So we enjoyed that. There's just so much to do in the area around Crystal River. Lincoln is really into his skimboard, and on this trip, the only place that was suitable was Jacksonville Beach, not St. George, and of course not the Swanee River, until we got to Crystal River, and we had some heavy rain one day, leaving puddles of water on the ground.
See you about to dust.
Well, Lincoln saw it and decided this is just perfect for skimboarding. So, as you can see, he enjoyed doing that. I talked to the couple in that camper right beside him and asked them if they saw him, and yeah, they got a big kick out of watching him do the skimboard. The man said they'll find something to keep from being bored. While you're in the area, go to Homosassa and visit the Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park. I knew that was going to be my best chance to see a manatee this time of year. It starts off, you've got your choice. You can take a boat ride through the canals to get there, or you can take a tram. We took the boat ride, and that's what you're looking at here. Once you get there, it's sort of like you're in a zoo. They have special sections that house each different kind of animal, and you just walk through it and look. They have the underwater observatory here also, which is where we saw the manatee. It's a real interesting park, and you'll enjoy it. If you get there, be sure and go see it.
That tall palm tree in front of us.
I got his face. We were really lucky to see this manatee. After this manatee came up and went away, we didn't see any more. I know that there's a place in Homosassa that takes injured manatees and treats them, and I bet it's this wildlife state park that we're in right now. That's just my guess, but it would make sense. There is a place in this preserve where they feed the manatee. There's a tag that says, there's a sign that says salad bar. So that's where they feed the manatee whatever they eat. There is a place in this preserve where they feed the manatee. There's a tag that says, there's a sign that says manatee salad bar. Ocean or near the ocean, and there are a lot of little keys or little islands that are all connected. I think they call them keys around, and sometimes it was hard to find your way around, but we were looking for a restaurant called The Freezer. Had good reviews, and was having a hard time finding it. It started raining on me, but finally found it. Turned out to be a beer joint, and that's where it gets its name, The Freezer. I guess they've got the coldest beer around. Anyway, we ate there. It was good, and it was on the water. Had a good view. No beer. Iced tea and water. Followed by an ice cream cone from Twisted Treat. Fort Island Beach was just a very few miles from Crystal Isles RV Park. Cheryl and I enjoyed the beach here at Fort Island Beach State Park. Lincoln, on the other hand, had other ideas. I told you before that Lincoln he's a big shopper. And one of the places he likes to shop is Best Buy. If you stop at Best Buy, as soon as he walks in the door, he's gone. You don't know where he is, what he's looking for. Well, I had to go to Best Buy a couple of times because I had lost my camcorder and I had to replace it with another camera. So Lincoln shows up at the cash register with a speaker, a waterproof floating speaker, about the size of not as big as a cantaloupe, but anyway, you could hold it in your hand. And it was pretty heavy, but it did float. So his idea of what to do at Fort Island Beach State Park was to walk along the beach and listen to his music. So that's what he did, but he wasn't just walking along the beach. He disappeared from our sight. He headed to the end of the island where there's a pier and a few other things for fishermen and boaters. So he takes off listening to his music and then comes back. So that's us giving Lincoln his space, and he enjoyed his little waterproof speaker. And we enjoyed the beach. It's amazing what a draw this little beach is. We met people at Peck's Seafood Restaurant that had just come from this beach. They're from Huntsville, Alabama, down on a vacation, and what a coincidence, but it draws a lot of people. It's just the only beach around. Peck's Old Port Cove was a seafood restaurant that probably the best I've ever been to. It was out in what they call the Keys, little islands they're all connected by road, but just a bunch of little islands off from Crystal River. It's several miles from the main road. We drove several miles and there was nothing else around but this restaurant, but it was really nice. This restaurant is called a Blue Crab Farm. They raise their own blue crab. So we looked at them, but that's not what we ordered. I actually took a video of the waitress's face because she looks so much like a girl from Bremen that is our daughter's age, Kelly's age. I'm not going to mention her name, but if you think the same thing, let me know.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see.
This is the waitress I'm talking about. She actually is about our daughter's age, but she looks so much like a friend of our daughter's, a high school friend. If you see a resemblance and know who I'm talking about, let me know. Cheryl and I both thought the same thing, and we told our waitress too that they really did resemble a lot. Three Sister Springs should be at the top of your list for places to visit in Crystal River. You go to the marina in Crystal River, you rent a kayak, and you paddle about half a mile to get into Three Sister Springs. There's 3 springs in there, and that's why they call it Three Sister Springs. But that's the most beautiful area to enjoy the springs. And for some reason, I've lost most of my pictures and videos that I took there. What you're looking at was taken in Three Sister Springs. It's just that I've lost most of the other pictures. Put this on your list. Just a note so that you'll know, you can't get to Three Sister Springs. You can't get into the water from the land because it's all private property. You have to paddle in by kayak or whatever.
This is for manatee seafood. This is seagrass.
Another great seafood place, a place to eat at the marina where you would rent your kayaks to go to the Three Sisters, is the Crab Plant. And that's what you're looking at here. It's a good restaurant. Crystal River is not where you would go to the beach. It's not your typical beach trip, but it's not far to the Fort Allen Gulf Beach. It's just a few miles. So when we leave the campground and take a right, we go down to the Fort Allen Beach Park. It's where the Crystal River and the Gulf meet. I tell you what, when the temperature is 100 degrees and the feel like temperature was over 100, it was I think 101 or 102. This water feels good. You don't care if you're missing a few waves.